Hello, test, test. Test. Oh, I don't know. I can't hear myself. Hold on. Uh, Give me a second. Okay. Uh, uh, Hello, everybody. You are audible. Good, good. Um, how's everybody doing? Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can. I know you guys can hear me. It's just that I am curious what it actually sounds like. Okay. Ooh, that sounds not good. Why is that? Is that all right with everybody? I it does not sound the best right now, but that's about as good as we're gonna get. A little quiet? Okay, sure, sure. I can definitely turn up the volume. Hello, hello? Okay, there you go. That I can get even louder. There. That should be good. Okay, hello, Paprika, and hello everybody else as well. But yeah. No, actually it's the same mic, but worse settings. Settings really do uh, help a lot. I still haven't done the proper voice meter stuff yet, so it just sounds absolutely terrible. Sorry, but I'm back. Well, as back as I can be. I'm currently just holding my mic in my hand. It's the Snowball Ice, so it's like a ball mic, and I can just hold it in my hand because I brought the mic, but I didn't bring the stand. Uh, but yeah, if you're wondering, I am currently not at home. Currently, I am with my girlfriend. Well, she's not here, but I'm in her room, um, with my girlfriend. So I had to bring the setup, uproot it from its normal location, and then bring it with me and plonk it down here. So yeah, that's why everything might be a little janky. Also, I didn't check the internet and see like how consistent or if it's like good or not. So there might be some connection errors and stuff like that, but I think it's gonna be fine. I think the internet's good enough. So I don't think I'll be worrying about that. But yeah, so um hi Rusty, I'm back. Oh, yes. Uh what I was actually planning to do this stream was, well, as you might be able to tell, it's the 30th of this month, by the way. Everybody, happy Chris. Wait, no. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Right? Sorry, I didn't say that when Christmas was actually around. And soon Happy New Year, I guess. But it's the 30th, and there's no video. Or wait, is it the 30th or is it the 29th? Oh shit, I'm stupid. Sorry. My computer time is completely whacked at the moment. But yeah, it's the 29th and there is no new video on the YouTube yet, which is bad, right? I really want to get to making the next video, but and it's been busy. Okay. Oh shit, Bonky McNoggins. Hello, welcome to the stream. I'm surprised at you came to the stream. I honestly, I don't know what time it is right now. If this is the normal time I normally stream, I just sort of felt like, or I got time to stream at this time, so that's why I'm streaming now. And I don't know if it's the same time as normal, but yeah. So okay, again, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna work on the illustration that I'm going to use in the next video. Okay? You know what you could draw? No. But yeah, welcome, Bonky McNoggins. Glad to have you here. And my phone is at 5%. Oh boy, more technical difficulties. Okay, hold on, just give me a second. Where is the charger? Okay. Yep. Let's see. Mm, just plug you in. That's not. No, that doesn't work. What is this? Is this the mouse? No, that's the mic. Where's the mouse? Where's the mouse? What's the next video about? Well, uh, I was planning to make it about the process of spell casting, like how to cast a spell. So, which means we need to illustrate somebody casting a spell. Ugh, hold on, I gotta make a new file that's a little bigger, I think. It's a little small. Progress on the Lego Dwarf is going well. Also, hello, Insanity. Thank you for the 17 DKK. That's really nice to hear. That's awesome. I'm excited to see it when it's done. Bonky McNoggins, thank you for the $10 once again. I sadly will not be able to stay. I have other priorities for the day. Do well and take your time. Take care, Bonky McNoggins, but thank you for hopping in and donating $20. I very much appreciate it as always. Wish you good luck with the rest of your day. Yeah, let's go with a just a big old canvas. Here we go. Okay, and I don't want to blind you, so I'm gonna have to get dark and then gray. Here we go. Oh, Douglas, thank you for the $2. Can you draw a dwarf so I can eat it? Oh, goodness. I guess, you know what? I'm feeling, I'm feeling, I hate saying this, feeling generous for, uh, to give you guys a dwarf to eat, but I guess I can. I'll do that. Hey, hon. Yeah, just started the stream and somebody asked me to draw a dwarf to eat. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Alright.
Was it fun?
I have fun watching, playing some game. I don't know. We talked about it, but I don't know games. So
Hmm,
yeah.
that's nice. Well, now you're gonna get to Bother's Strikers if you'd like. I'm gonna give this one like a very droopy nose. So,
Make it like this one.
well, yeah, that's pretty much it. Huh?
I told you it didn't work good. I can't commit to it. I told you you need it more glitter.
Yeah, girlfriend
You.
voice reveal. Yeah, I guess so. There she is, everybody.
Yippee! I just like that he's just pointing to me, like yeah, like you have a camera on you, like oh yeah.
Well, yeah, you guys can't see me, but I am pointing at her.
Mm.
Ew, Danish.
Hi, so love it, Maka.
What did you just say?
I said, I don't know what I means. It's just like an expression, but like, mate, stop that.
Oh,
You know, I don't know. It's like every time when you speak in another language, your voice just changes.
oh.
And it's like when speaking Thai, I sound like in Danish. I'm like, I told you you need to eat my glitter.
Stop with that. Why is that stuck in your head?
Because it's on TikTok.
Damn it. Okay, there you go. Oh, I'm accidentally, unconsciously drawing this guy standing. The last guy was sitting. Ah, that's fine. He looks so innocent, not knowing that he's going to be consumed by donations. Yes, exactly. First time catching you live. Hello, hello. Um, Tara Tokol. Sorry if I butchered your name, but welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. If you're wondering, at the moment I'm drawing a dwarf for the sake of the donations, as they can choose to take bites out of it. But after this, I'm going to be drawing a page based around magic. Okay. I'm just gonna. I think it's fine to have him be off screen like this.
Damn those thighs.
But the hands were way too hard at the chosen. The hands were way too hard at the chosen scale, so Dwarf was in a tragic accident and he lost both his arms below the elbow. At least he now has golden arms. I also made the alcohol thing for him. Oh, Grot? Nice. Oh, by the way, context. He's making a dwarf out of Lego. Yeah, I know.
What the fuck?
I don't know, but I'm very excited with how it's going to turn out.
Interesting.
But yeah, here you go. Here's the dwarf, everybody. If you would like to, it's up to you if you want to donate and mutilate him, but he's just going to be there, minding his own business. There you go. So let's get right into drawing, I guess. Oh, the brush I'm using. I think it's notable enough to talk about it. It's just a base Krita brush at this point. I didn't port over any of the brushes that I had at home, so these are just base brushes. Which I'm telling you, I feel like this brush, which I edited into, which I wh- why you do this? Why do you do this?
It's like when you play games, I could probably do them.
Ah, God. Anyway, uh, I feel like so this is the base brush for the brush that I mostly use to color things. This is the original, but I tweaked to like fit how I use it. Honestly, I feel like the original is better than what I did with it. So I'm not gonna tweak it at all and just keep it the way it is because I actually like how this looks. And I'm gonna use it for line work as well, as I feel like it adds a kind of weight to it that I've lost since changing to the no opacity, no size brush for the line work. Name him Torbjorn,
Tobian.
Timmy. Well, yeah, let's say his full name is Torbjorn, but for simplicity's sake, it is Timmy. Also, I forgot to give him the hold on here, and then I'm gonna give him some like scraggly hair coming out of the top of his head like that. There you go. Thank you, Chef Simon. I'll add him to my thank you for the donation of $2, Douglas Gordon. I don't know how I'm gonna add him to your pot pie. I could wrap the dwarf arm in dough and deep fry it. What the fuck? Okay, fair enough. I guess we're starting off strong. Hold on. It's all right. I gotta choose some things from the side of the screen. Ah, setup is so janky. Okay, let's cut his arm off. Okay, let me get the arm. Like that. Move that to the side. Whoops. Wait. Okay, I'll just. There you go. I don't know what the inside looks like, so I'm just gonna say that's what it looks like. And let's put it on a stick and like tempura deep fry it, I guess. Like that. And then I'm gonna give it like a crispy texture.
Why no music?
Huh? Music. I don't have any of the music that I had before.
Hmm.
Well, actually I do, I think. Hold on.
Add some pizzazz, you
Some
know?
Himalayan salt and chili. Okay. Let's just say this is. Hold on. I'll just use white. Well, that's not really gonna work because there's no color. Let's just say I'm gonna sort of barbecue it and add like other bits of stuff on it, so we can have like like a bit of pineapple or like a tomato on there. Just season it more, you know? What? Why do you have to whisper?
Because I don't want other people here to know.
Other people to know that you're gonna.
Stop. No.
Yes, you do.
No, just don't say anything.
Why?
It's private.
Private people are gonna go.
Yeah, it's my private. I don't want
It's private.
130 people to know what I'm gonna do. Girl, shut up.
Girl.
It's okay. It's okay. Shh.
What the fuck?
It was right there.
Don't do that. He looks so uninterested. Oh, yeah, he sort of looks very unfazed. Hold on. Let me put a thing on top. That I don't know what that is, but there you go. There's your fried dwarf farm.
Okay, bye bye.
Okay, take care. Love you too.
Have you seen the lip balm?
Huh?
Have you seen lip balm?
Have I seen lip balm?
Mm-hmm. You did 5,000 of them and then
I ate it.
zero.
Mmm, yum yum. I ate it. Where the fuck is it? I don't know where your lip
Maybe
balm
that's
is.
why you said oily.
Wait, it's why it's oily.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me.
Excuse.
Hold on. Give me a second, everybody. I gotta find it.
No, 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 no.
What is that?
It's called concealer.
Oh,
No, that's fine. But no,
tiny.
just,
Okay.
just.
Okay.
I'll find
Okay.
it. I'll
Okay.
find it. I'll find it.
The lips are dry. Yes.
Oh yeah, maybe crusty.
Where's my? Oh, don't say anything. Okay. Um, we gotta make him look more concerned. That's for sure. So let's make him look more concerned. Han, I can't read the chat if your face is in my phone. How do we make him look more concerned? I guess I can. There you go.
Eyebrows.
Oh, my arm! Oh, poor Timmy. There you go. I'm not gonna get to drawing if I keep. But Douglas, thank you for the $2. Since dwarves are arthropods, do they regenerate? Well, uh, well, they. Hmm. I actually don't know. Okay, here's the thing. I wanted there to be dwarf prosthetics, which, that's cool. That means that it makes it so that the dwarves wouldn't be able to regenerate. So I don't actually know. I'm sort of conflicted if they should be able to regenerate or not, because it makes sense that they should be able to, but also dwarf prosthetics, Nose and fin slices and let it simmer in the heat. What the fuck? In Insanity, thank you for the 17 dikuku. I can with both of your donations combined, I can now buy like one burger from the burger concept.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Well, okay. Here's the thing. There's a burger place in here called Burger Concept, and it's really good. I think it's really good.
Really
Yeah,
cheap too. Really?
yeah. For like 29 kroner, you can get a burger. But the trick is everything else is really fucking expensive. Like a little cup of sauce
It's
is
like 9,
it was a 10 kroner
about 6.
for a cup of sauce. So only buy the burgers. That's really good.
Well, and the fries are like 50 something.
Oh yeah, and the fries are really expensive. But yeah, hold on. Before I read anything more, I gotta hook up the dwarf nose. There you go. Voila. And I'll put like, the classic like little piece of something, like just random shit on top that like the fancy restaurants do, and then like a smear of sauce on the side as well.
Mhm.
Okay. Love you, baby.
Love you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. What? What the fuck? Oh my god. Thank you.
It's funny.
I know.
Laugh.
Ah. Okay, there you go. That's the wonkiest plate I've ever drawn, but it's no. Let's say it's like a fancy schmancy, like, oh, this plate was made out of and that's why it's like very hard to work with. This is the best plate out there. This is one of a kind. Weird ass shape. Does Jimmy have children? Timmy have children? No, I don't like that question because we're currently dismembering Timmy. So whatever I say, that's not good. Not good question. But yeah, here you go. Dwarf nose sliced up with like a lick of sauce on the side and some like twigs on top, and also a fried dwarf arm. Enjoy. Bon appetit. Uh, Now let's get to actually drawing what we have to for the video. So, hmm, hmm, yeah. Timmy has 5 children. Okay, if you want to make up some fan fiction about Timmy, then sure, go ahead. If you would like to say that he has 5 children, then sure. Also, hello, Valley Boar. Welcome to the stream. They dropped it on its head while it was still clay. Yeah, it sort of personalizes the plate to the specific dwarf you're cooking. If you're ordering a dwarf, it is a 5-star experience, like 3-star Michelin experience, type shit where it's like they cultivate the dwarf since birth, and then they smack a plate on its head and mold it into the plate for the dwarf. Like they are pre-prepared, like way, way ahead of time. Oh shit. Uh, Rit Finch, welcome to the stream. Uh, Mimha is canon? What? Plate made of mh. Oh, write that down. No, it is not like a fantasy metal or something. Yeah, welcome, small Brit. Anybody who's wondering, both both Valley Boar in the chat and Ritfinch have a YouTube channel that also focuses on making a world with like cool ass drawings and talking about the lore and stuff like that. So be sure to check both of them out. Um, they definitely deserve more views and more people seeing their content. Both of them. That'd be awesome. But yeah, Insanity, thank you for the 17 dikika. Dwarf drumstick with soy sauce. Lower left leg. Oh my god. Oh, okay, fine. This is the last one, okay? After this, I'd prefer if you like paused it for a while because I do want to get like a little bit of drawing done. Um, that's okay. How am I? Wait, he's gonna follow. I'll give him a crutch. Let's give him a crutch. There you go. Time to leave the stream to binge every video on their channel. That is very much encouraged from me. That would be great. But yeah, here you go. I'm gonna give you a drumstick. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do that like that fancy restaurant thing that they do with drumsticks, where it's like they they pull the meat up, so it's like all the way up, right? And then the rest of the leg is left like really clean. This doesn't make sense. Dwarves have an exoskeleton, so there's no bone in a dwarf. Okay, hold on. Then I guess we'll have to like we can make it a skewer instead, if that's all right. So just like put a skewer in it to look like a drumstick like that. And then soy sauce. Wait, soy sauce? The Golden Bone World? Yeah, yeah. That's the one. Her video popped off, which by the way, again, congrats, Rit Finch. It is well overdue that you get the recognition you got. Um, hope it forever skyrockets. But yeah, there you go. Some soy sauce with it. Enjoy. Bon appetit. Okay, now, please, we're gonna draw the thing that I need to draw for the video. So, the video is going to be about how spellcasting works, right? So there is like a process to it. You go from uh, mana in the air to input to um, what is it? Uh, stored in the blood. So let's just write blood. Then intent. Then output. Then kindling. So that's what I'm going to explain in the video. Uh, what is required for spell casting. I've already explained it on streams multiple times, but obviously that's not good enough. Making a video about it properly is definitely the you know the is important. I by the way, sorry if my talking is very awkward, as obviously I haven't been streaming in quite a while, so I just have to get back into it a little. 6 steps? Wow, that's a lot. Well, it's not really 6 steps. It's just that that's the essential things that I want to cover. It's literally just there's mana in the air. You need an input to take it in. Then the mana is stored in the blood, which isn't really a step, you know? So you could cut this out. It's just that I wanted there to mention it so that people know that it's stored in the blood. Then intent is another step. So it pretty much is one intent, three, four. So intent is what you imbue the mana within you with to cast it out in the form of a spell. The output is where the spell comes out of, and the shape of it is the shape of it affects how the spell comes out. And then the kindling is what the spell gets put into. So some spells have prepared kindling, like for example, most combustion mages have a pouch of unfurled gunpowder with them that they use to cast the combustion spells because it has been tested. And gunpowder is the best thing to cast combustion spells on as it just gives the biggest boom. Um, but other types of magic don't use kindling because the thing you're casting into is literally the kindling. Well, the kindling is what you cast the spell into, right? You can't just cause a fireball to happen. You have to have what the you have to have something to cast the spell into for a fireball to happen, which in the case of combustion magic is gunpowder. You can cast it into anything, honestly. You can cast a combustion spell into anything, and it would, air quotes, combust. But depending on the thing you cast it in, or cast it into, it has different effects, right? Most things expectedly with a combustion spell would probably just explode or break apart violently. But in the case of gunpowder, it is, you know, the most effective in doing that. But for healing mages, the kindling would be the person you're healing. That's the kindling, right? So you don't have anything on you that you use to cast the healing spell. You heal the person, and the person is technically your kindling. Same with terraforming magic. It's the earth that is your kindling. Um, what color is mana? Mana is invisible, but in higher concentrations, if there's like a large amount of it in a large space, it starts giving off uh, from orange to a dark crimson. So it would start in like this range, and then it would probably start going like this, and then probably into this. Well, that's just brown. Like that. My monitor is also not the best. I didn't pick the right I didn't pick the best PC, so like color picking is not going to be perfect. I'll definitely have to like re uh color things when I get back to my normal setup, but I think that's a crimson sort of or just a dark red. But yeah, in high concentration, it gives like a red hue. You know, it goes into the reds. Red mana, that's new. Yeah. Well, normally mana is depicted as like blue, right? But the reason that I picked red, and here's the thing. This is a very deep reason, right? So hear me out. This has like really deep roots in my history. I just red is cool. That's it. I just thought it's cool. So I was like, yeah, red. Well, that's all the deciding I needed. Whoops. Just drop. Yeah. So, I have an idea of how I want the drawing to be. I think I drew a rough idea of this in like a previous stream as well, but never, you know, followed through with it. So, oh, also, I guess the reason I'm going with like oranges and reds is because I decided on the color of magic sort of at the same time that I decided that the war aesthetic would be inspired by Zdzislaw Beksiński's work, right? And the skies in Zdzislaw Beksiński's work are orangey, reds, yellows, that sort of thing, which means I wanted a in-world excuse for why the sky in the war zones is that color. And so I was like, oh, well, the magic is red then. And also just blue didn't really fit the aesthetic of the world. I thought it was too sparkly. Hmm. I thought about it going into purple, but I thought just staying with the reds is good. Love that guy so much. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. His work is one of my favorites. I've been in the blue camp. Fair, fair. I started off with green. I like green, but then I had to step back and look at all the drawings I did. I was pretty much I was in denial about my favorite color. I told myself I like green. I love nature. I love green. But then I stepped back and like looked at the drawings I've done throughout my artistic journey. Barely any green. So I had to just be like, okay, maybe it's not green. Because if it is green, then I would have probably used it by now. So I've changed to liking reds and oranges and stuff like that because that's the color of the world. But yeah, insanity. Atmosphere kindling. What atmosphere kindling for a fireball? World blows up. Well, it doesn't really work like that, but you could use the atmosphere for kindling, and I guess there'd just be sort of a poof of air. Um, Low battery, so I'm looking for my charger. A sec. Um, there you go. Cool. But yeah, the thing is, um, I don't know how the sky around the pillars would look because the pillars attract mana, right? So wouldn't it mean that the pillars are also like every capital city also has a red sky? Um, what? Not my idea? Oh, thank you, Insanity, for the 17 oxygen is highly combustible. I guess it could work. I don't know. I still haven't like decided on how like you could literally cast combustion magic on anything, right? But like what is the effect it has on everything when you cast it on those things? Obviously the humans in the world being more scientific with their use of magic would definitely study that and break down and categorize each of the effects that it has. So there would probably be a long, long list of what kindling does what, you know? But I just haven't gotten to actually doing that yet. Magenta for magic has always been an interesting one for me. Given it doesn't actually exist on the light spectrum, it's just our brains filling in gaps. Ooh, that is interesting. If only I knew what magenta is. I've heard the word magenta. I know it's a color. It's just that I haven't ever seen magenta. I don't know where that is. I believe it's like a sort of purpley thing, right? It's like something purple, like purpley red or purpley blue. But yeah. Um what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Right, right. The sky around the pillars, shouldn't that be red too? Which means like every capital city would have a red sky, which is sort of ominous, isn't it? You know? But maybe the excuse might be that the reason there's a red sky in the war zone is because there's a lot more mana in the air than um, things are using up. But in the cities, there's a lot of infrastructure based around taking in the mana from the air and using it in manufacturing mana potions and stuff like that. So it could be that the air would be red if they didn't, take the mana out of the air constantly, to make things. It is like purple pink. Ah, okay, okay. Oh, oh, okay. Almost tipped over my mic. It's a ball, so it just roll off the desk. Uh, so let's get started. I've been delaying it long enough. Let's start right away. So I sort of want to capture all of these elements on one page if I could, but there would need to be uh expanding on every topic, as I wouldn't be able to say as much as I want to about every topic on one page, but at least I can mention every topic on one page. So the idea I had before, which I drew in a stream previously, was just a mage pointing his hand pretty much like that, with a thimble at the tip, and then it would zoom into the thimble and show the kindling within the tip of the thimble. Then it would show where the input is, and then a line going to a funnel like that, right? So then, and also this symbol, which is sort of the universal symbol for mana. Well, it's the symbol for taking in mana. Mana itself is commonly represented as like a star, or like this. Okay. Considering the idea is comments from last what? Considered the idea in comments from last stream? Question mark. The what did I miss anything? What were the ideas suggested in the last stream? I don't even remember what the last stream was about. It was so long ago. If a construct is used as a conduit for mana, wouldn't it turn alter the properties of mana while what? If a construct is used as a conduit for mana, wouldn't it in turn alter the properties of mana whilst the red coloration is a form of raw mana? Well, everything that has an amount of concentration of mana in it, like a mana saturation. If, for example, like mana potions are also red, because it also changes the color of water that it's in, or if the thing that it's being held in isn't opaque, uh, or isn't like translucent like water, then I guess you wouldn't really notice the color change. What the fuck? Indigo, Jesus Christ! Indigo Civilian, thank you for the $100. Welcome to the stream. You don't know what you don't know you may never meet me, but you've inspired me, giving me the strength to set things in motion. Damn. Well, I very much appreciate that. I'm glad I set things in motion. But yeah, everybody thank Indigo. Jesus. Do you know how many I can't mention that anymore because they don't have KFC here. So I can't say like how many KFC buckets. You know how many burgers I could buy from what was it called again? Burger Concept with that amount of money? Jesus Christ. Indigo, thank you, thank you. Goodness gracious. Don't spam. Yeah, careful, careful. Don't spam too much, but it is greatly appreciated. At least one burger. Yeah. Imagine that. I could buy one burger with that amount of money. I mean, I could go to like a really fancy restaurant and buy one burger that has like truffle butter and fucking Wagyu 5A beef and caviar on it and it'll, you know, and gold leaf, which doesn't do anything except make you get gold. But yeah, I could buy one of those burgers, supply Monster Gardens with burgers for weeks. True, inflation hits hard. No, no, it's just a very fancy 3-star Michelin restaurant burger, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like the salt on the burger is not actually, it's not even like Himalayan pink salt or something. No, it is it is the boiled down tears of hundreds and hundreds of orphans crying and boiled down into a salty solution or well yeah, just dehydrated into salt used on the burger. You can hear their screams when you take a bite, something like that. I've seen KFC in Denmark, but it's quite rare. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know it's here. It's probably here somewhere, but just around where I am, I haven't seen it. Yeah. Also, ooh, this is a surprise, by the way. I didn't expect this either. Um, Somebody actually knew me in Denmark, which it has so how do I word? Officially, there has been the first fan meeting. It is the first time a fan actually met me, which is strange. Uh, I I was not expecting that. Somebody recognized my voice, which very strange that they would recognize it from that. But then, yeah, that was nice. That was very nice. Um, 1 out of 10 monsters in the Monster Garden go without burgers. Sponsor one today and allow an eldritch horror to clog their arteries. Incredible, incredible. But yeah, yeah, somebody actually like met me, which is weird. So weird. Like, because obviously, you guys are like on the other side of a screen. You're in my tiny little box on my computer, you know? I can perceive all 166 of you flowing through the chat, and that's about, that's how I see you. But then actually seeing a guy in person, um, saying like, "Oh yeah, I watch your videos, love your stuff," and then he like showed me his sketchbook and shit. And obviously great art, great art. I loved having a conversation with him, but it's just so weird to like break through that barrier. Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to drawing. So yeah, this is pretty much the page I was going to do, um, for to show magic casting. Though, like, I would need the spell to go out somehow, or like, I would need to choose a type of spell that I would want to exit the barrel of this guy's finger, which could be like a combustion spell, I guess, because then that would be the most fitting, because that's like one of the spells that has a kindling. So we could use gunpowder and then just sort of show a blast. My viral vid hit the recommended page of the students I help uh, as a university teacher and show up at my office. It was surreal. Yeah, I bet that would be. I bet it would be very weird to have that happen, but it would be very fun as well. Idea. How about an underground creature in the comments? Oh, I didn't read any of those comments yet. I'll have to go back and read them. But thank you for the 17 dukaka. Once again, insanity. Appreciate it. Uh, but yeah, I haven't read any of those comments yet. Wait, was it the video where I was talking about like what I didn't know what I would want to use as inspiration for ROM patterns? Was it that one? Health potions could be orange. Uh, no, there's no health potions. I got a DC of 18. Can you beat that? What? What's the context here? It was sweet of them. That's nice. Not you, sign. Oh, you'd probably get cancer from a health potion. Well, I just don't think it's feasible for that to be bottled up in a potion. You could probably make a magic healing item. Like you could make an item that basically casts a healing spell the same way that a healing mage does, and just have it be like this sort of brush or chisel, pretty much like this, and it casts healing magic in this cone, and then you just sort of have to run it along your body to heal certain areas. But I would guess it would do it a lot worse than healing mages because they actually control it, and this is like not, it would not be very flexible to what kind of injury you have. So probably a lot of like growths and tumors and it healing bad, but it would be better than nothing, I guess, if it's like a life or death situation. I've only been recognized by the speaking rats in damp, dark alleyways. Valley I mean, listen, that's a different kind of cool. Are you kidding me? Fucking, if that's awesome. If you get recognized by fucking rats in a sewer, I think that's even cooler. Because that's like your word gets around in the world of vermin. What kind of powers do you have now? Do you have leverage with the rat mafia? Like, can you tell them to go do stuff? Like, hey, you like my stuff, right? Could you do a job for me? You know, Zambino is a guy that I have some problems with. Could you go deal with him, and then I'll draw you a commission. And the rats are like, oh fuck yeah, I'll deal with him. Deep Dark Fantasies with the Boys is the video. Oh, right, right. The weird playing deep, Dark and Darker. But yeah, that's awesome if the rats recognize you. Yeah. So then we could have like text boxes here, and then like a text box here, obviously like there, or there. But I feel like the stance of this guy is what's been bothering me because this is what it was in the original drawing. And I'm just not that crazy about him just standing there being like, over there, and a spell coming out. I feel like it needs to be a little more substantial, I guess. What good news, gang? Valley Boar says I can join the rat gang. Incredible. I'm gonna call my mom and tell her. You definitely should. Are you perhaps the giant rat that makes all the rules? Dynamic, maybe? Yeah, I'm thinking about what kind of pose. Give me a second. My brain's churning. A split reality. Thank you for the $5. Sorry if the mic quality is not good. I'm literally facing away from it at this point. Um, is the black tar buildup in magic users exclusive to organic creatures, or does it also build up on things with ifs on them, like rust on metal? Very good question. I like that. Yes, yes, it does build up on magic items. Um, I damn it, what was its name? It had a name because um it seemingly is the case that depending on what the tar builds up on, would it be in the body of a mage or on the surface of ifs, the properties of the tar are different. Tar from in an organic creature is more liquidy, it's sticky, and it can be refined into tar, the drug. But the tar that builds up on ifs is hard, like it's crusty and very not pleasant. Yeah, well, saying it like normal tar is pleasant. Um, Meaning you can't really refine the machine tar. Wait, was that what I called it? Machine tar? Um, but you can't refine machine tar into the drug because it's just nasty. It is completely useless and garbage. That doesn't stop people from doing it though, because sometimes some shadier suppliers of tar, the drug, might add in a percentage of machine tar just to bolster their stock, which obviously would lower the quality of the tar product that comes out in the end, but it'd give you more of it. Yeah, like a calcified mana interaction. Yeah, yeah. What's the tar drug again? It's a addictive drug made out of tar, which is the buildup inside creatures that use magic. It builds up in their bodies while they cast magic, and you can extract it and then refine it into a drug called tar, which is quite addictive. But it also has benefits for magic users because it helps them focus more, and also removes the side effects or it removes the effects of mana sickness. Mana sickness is what happens when you have a certain amount of mana in your blood. So your body stores mana in the blood, right? And percentage of how much you mana you have in your blood uh, affects you. So at a certain percentage, you start feeling symptoms of mana sickness, which is dizziness, disorienting, vomiting, or like just bad things, right? You can, as a mage, you can train yourself by pretty much staying like increasing the level of mana within your blood over a long period of time to train yourself to be more tolerant towards higher level of mana saturation. But that takes a long time, right? The tar removes the feeling of sickness that you get at higher levels of saturation. So as a young mage, you can take it to basically get good quick, hold more mana, be able to cast more powerful spells, be more focused in spell casting. But the downside is obviously that you don't feel when the saturation levels in your blood get dangerous, because if it reaches too high of a level, you fucking die. Um, can you smoke the tar? I'm still stuck on how the tar is taken. I'm still stuck on how it's taken. right? I don't know if it's like smoked in a pipe or if it's like rubbed between the gums, like inside the gums. The reason I would want it to be that way, so I want the application of it to be cool. Obviously, drugs are not cool, by the way, everybody. Drugs are not cool. But with tar, I did want the usage of tar to look cool to a certain degree. So I was thinking like either smoking a pipe or like rubbing it in the teeth. Um, if you want a visual of how I was thinking it, it's the bad guy from Red Line. It's an anime movie called Redline that's like about really fast fucking cars racing in space. But there's like a bad guy who's like a mafia type guy who he like does drugs and he like rubs it into his teeth. But there's like a scene of him, when he gets introduced where he rubs it into his teeth, and that's what it sort of makes me think of because that's just sort of like a nasty but also like cool way of taking a drug. Do you remember when you said that became what they controlled? Like how fire mages become one with fire? Maybe acceleration mages develop superhuman speed. No, no, we've already decided on like what kind of um effects acceleration magic has on you. I'd pull it up, but this is the new computer, or not my original computer, so I wouldn't find it that easily. But we have an image of like an acceleration mage that has like one giant arm that has the skin sort of like pulled forward because of all the acceleration casts or acceleration magic that they've been casting. Tar flakes with milk. Yum yum. Thank you for the 17 ticket insanity. Appreciate it. I've thought of witch hunting items. I read the full description on your most recent video, but it's called the Harbinger doll. It's a course protection item. Huh. If you want me to like find it more easily, as I don't really think it's gonna be easy to like find it in the comments of the most recent video, as there's a lot of them. Um, I'd recommend like adding me in the server. Like you can go into the Discord server and like suggest it in the Monster Garden chat and just at me there so I can see it. That's probably the best way you can get a hold of me, or have me see what you actually want me to. Um, it would make sense if it's drank or taken orally by licking it off something, or even syringes since it's blood based. Yeah, I was thinking syringes as well, but then here comes the issue. Well, I guess it's not that much of an issue, but it, this would cause people's deaths like way too easily because like dirty syringes in trenches, like mages having to have like a pouch of syringes to inject themselves with tar drugs, and then like them being thrown away into the mud and the trenches and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, the trenches are awful, and that would add to the awfulness of trenches, but like, God, who the fuck, who wants to go into this war anymore? There's horrible leeches, there's fucking like the trench moths, there's obviously the mazing trenches and the fucking the rats and the burla men and like all weird types of creatures trying to kill you, and now there's fucking hypodermic needles in the trench mud as well. Yeah. Maybe sterilization magic is rather easy. Well, sterilization magic would mean that they would have to figure out that how germs work, right? Which is not something they got a hold of yet. Um, so like germ theory is still at the level of like well, germ theory doesn't it's miasma theory, like the stuff with the bad air, that sort of thing, where the witch doctors were around, that same theory. Well, actually, the miasma theory is like a really like it was there for like a really long time because it made sense, but yeah. So I was thinking like a more less. blood injection type usage might be good, like taking it in the gums or smoking it. I feel like smoking it would destroy it, so like taking it in the gums might be the best way to do it, or like snorting it up the nose maybe. Yeah, because then we can have like interesting degrading um effects to it as well, so you can like tell apart who's addicted to tar. Like have it be the same way with like snorting coke, where like the nose starts like you know collapsing in on itself. Or another thing that I was thinking, I yeah, yeah, just like degrading. Maybe the gums go black, or the gums blacken, or maybe the teeth blacken as well. There's a type of, I'm hesitant to call it a drug, but there's a type of thing that Thai people hate, which is like a type of powder wrapped in a leaf, and then they chew it. It's only like old people do it nowadays. Like young people don't do that anymore, at least where I am. But it's like an old people thing. It's called ma. That's Thai, so I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about. But they chew it, and it apparently has like, I don't know if it's caffeine, but it's addictive. It's addictive. But after you chew it for a while, it stains your teeth black, right? So you have like this black teeth shit going on, and then they spit out like their spit occasionally to get rid of the spit and stuff like that. Um, but it stains your teeth black. And apparently, back in the day, like way in the past of Thailand, when like it was pretty much the norm to be taking mak, um, they having black teeth was considered like a beauty thing, I think. Mak. Well, I think it's a thing in other cultures too. It's just that this is what we call it. I don't know how to spell it. I don't know. Sorry. You could have the uh, scallier start darkening because of tar saturation in the blood vessels and capillaries. Wait, the what? Scallier? Scallier? What is that? What is the scallier? Is that like an eye part? I'm bad with anatomy. Is that a part of the eye? Where I live, there's a nicotine containing granules that people hold under their tongue. Huh. Like chewing tobacco? I don't know what chewing tobacco. Well, you know what? I'm gonna search it up. It'd be best for me to search it up so I know what you're talking about. No, no, no. This is not it. Oh, it's just tobacco that you chew on. Oh, thought it was like something more than. Um, Mock is made of beetle leaf. Yeah, yeah, that's what it was. It was beetle leaf and then some other shit. Um, is the white part of the eye. Yeah, that would be interesting if the white part of the eye turns black as well. Just some really creepy side effects. Oh, you know what would be cool? Um, monkeys. Well, yeah, monkeys have like really creepy eyes. They don't have like a white part. You know, some monkeys I don't know if it's all monkeys, but like the monkeys I see, they don't have like white parts. So maybe your eyes turn like that where like the middle part goes. Hold on, let me. Monkey eyes. Monkey eyes. I think they have creepy eyes. Some of them do. Like this, like this. See? That's fucking creepy. I don't like that. But it would fit. So maybe like it also changes the color of your this part to make it like brighter so it stands out from the black. But yeah. I feel like having it be snorted up the nose or into the gums would be the best way to go about it. Um, we are sacrificing the coolness factor of having them smoke it, but we are adding in the ability to make it so like a side effect of using too much of it is your nose collapsing and stuff like that, which might be interesting. And then chewing is also the black teeth could also be a thing, which is neat. Have you made your own language in your world? You're making? No, no, we haven't made our own language yet. I don't see much of a reason to do so, as it would just complicate things. And yeah, I'd rather not. You missed a donation. Oh shit, sorry. Hold on. Yeah. Thank you for the $17, Insanity. Only two comments with seven sub comments on the stream. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me check that right now, actually. An idea for a magic use using dwarf killing, shell stealing to your mole. Oh, okay. That's a lot more than I expected. I'm gonna have to take some time to read through that later. I'm not gonna read it on stream because, well, I you're gonna realize how bad I am at reading. So I'll read it after stream. But what's he poking? It's the nose. It's a nose. If I illustrated it badly, see? Yeah. Conlang's. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we have a conlang for the dwarves, which I've pretty much already forgotten. I'm gonna have to refresh my mind by looking at the page or the stream when we made that. But we have one for dwarf writing now, which is neat. It wasn't necessary, but it's nice to have in case I want to like write something in dwarven on their bodies when showing their tattoos and stuff or their carvings. So you can like decipher it if you'd like. Have bloodletting be a popular thing? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it is. It is. Like we're still in the era of bloodletting and leeches, and I I know it's not the same time period. I think it's not the same time period, but like lobotomies would be really fun to have as well. Just in the world of the the what the fuck is that called? Psychology? Like psychology is probably like a very untapped field, but if somebody's acting goofy, they'll just give them a lobotomy. I think that's probably it'd just be a nice thing to have. Nice thing to Oh goodness. Thank you for the $50. Jesus Christ. Brendan Kester. Thank you for the $50. Love your content and your community. Keep up the great work. You deserve a few more burgers. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I will make sure to buy as many burgers as I can with that money you gave. Thank you. Got that tar lobotomy? Yeah. Put alcohol in their eye to get drunk faster? What if they made tar into a liquid and consumed it that way? That could be interesting too. Yeah. Lobotomies. Like all the weird and wacky like medical practices, I want to have them just because they are weird and messed up. It'll just be cool to have them as a part of the world, you know? Well, I mean, the leeches thing and bloodletting wasn't really that crazy, honestly, compared to some of the other stuff. Um, Also, like, uh, um, what is that? The hell is that called? Numbing stuff, sedatives, painkillers. No, when they do an operation, they knock you out, right? With the gas, or like with like a numbing thing. That stuff doesn't exist yet. So so everything's horribly painful, probably. The best they could do is like get you really high and drunk, maybe like just get you absolutely wasted for the hopes that you just don't feel anesthetic. Yes, anesthetic. They don't have anesthetic yet. Uh, Bello, hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the 24 euros. Simon, I have a pitch for an electric battery mage. Oh, the science is there and it works on stuff known in the 1800s. So the people would know about it. Tagged you in the Monster Garden channel. Thank you, thank you. I'll be sure to check it out. Um, I'm not gonna read much on stream, so I will after the stream. But thank you for the heads up. I'll be sure to read it after the stream. And I'll talk to you about it in there as well if I read it. Well, after I read it, I will read it. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to like electric mages and stuff like that, um, shit, fuck. There's two people in the server called Shabby and Sedeka, and they have a thread in the world building thread, and it's based on like their concepts in the Monster Garden that they've suggested. They're fucking awesome. And one of those was like an electric mage that used like channeled the power of like lightning with like lightning rods on his back, and cast spells, lightning spells, obviously. So, I mean, yeah, I am very down with like having electric mages. I think that would be very cool. Split Reality, thank you for the $10. I also didn't have enough characters to say it earlier, but I adore your content and thank you so much for getting me back into fantasy settings. You're welcome. Thank you very much for liking the content. Appreciate it. Yeah. Let's think about how. I'd have to like a little bit more of a dynamic pose that has like more of an angle to it might be good. Like this. Like a sort of Avada Kedavra kind of, like you die now. Bang! And he fires off the shot, the acceleration, I mean, combustion magic shot. Like that might be better. Just like a little slant in the shoulders, have this one be higher up. Might be like just that might be good enough to make it more interesting. So the rib cage is sort of facing this way, head is facing that way. Simon back and rusty. Yep, yep. Back and rusty. Will there be giants in the world? Um, I'm thinking about trolls. I like trolls a lot. Giants, I like trolls more than giants. I guess, oh no, such a controversial hot take. Am I gonna get canceled for this? Am I gonna get canceled? What? Simon has an opinion? He likes one thing more than the other? What? Yes, I like trolls more than giants because, well, I just think the visuals that you get when you see trolls is like cooler. They got like more stuff going on with them. They turn into stone in the morning. They're they have like the big hair and the big nose, and they hide in like swamps. Some myths have them like be able to regenerate and stuff like that. And there's a lot of cool like characters based around trolls, a lot of cool trolls. But like giants, it's a big guy, big guy. That's about it. Not much to do with it. Not much to play around with. Big guy. So yeah, yeah. I like trolls more, which means I'd probably want to add trolls. If I do add like a giant humanoid race. Um, and if I do, I really want to give it the dwarf treatment by like honoring the origins of trolls. So I'd have to do like a big old deep dive into the history of trolls and like try to get the essence of what makes a troll. Funnily enough, it would probably look a little similar to a dwarf, maybe, because an essential feature of trolls is also big nose. So they might have a sort of similar silhouette because the nose is going to be the main focus of their face. I might be able to do something interesting with that though. Um, that is different enough from dwarves. Trolls are way cooler than giants. We have so many damn myths about them here. You will look at literally any rock, and some old geezer will tell you a story about how that was once a troll. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, I'll have to look into all of that. But yeah, because like I want to extract the essence of trolls. Um, and see what makes them tick, what makes them a troll, and try to do it like the dwarves and redesign them to make them stand out, but similar enough to the original troll that you can connect the dots and be like, oh, that's a troll, but still different enough uh, to where it's not just big human. But that's not easy. Like it's definitely not easy for me to do that. The dwarves took like it took multiple years to design the dwarves. Obviously, I wasn't like working away at it tirelessly over like multiple years to make the dwarves, but it's just that the redesigning of dwarves has spanned multiple years, um, where it's been on and off. Started drawing the dwarf, redesigned it, left it at that, came back to it later, with more experience and worked on it again, left it at that, and then came back to it again. You know, so I don't know how long it would take for me to think of how to redesign a troll. It might take like a really long time. There you go. That's definitely more of a dynamic pose. Some and then I want like a little bit of an upturned face, like nose, like looking smug, you know, like depending on how giants are done, trolls can also yeah. There's definitely like overlap between giants and trolls and how they're depicted and stuff like that. Definitely overlap. There's a site where a bunch of lava rocks that stick into the air here, and it has some folklore about being the last party a village of trolls had as they were tricked to believing the sun wasn't rising. That's great. That's really cool. I mean, never been on live before. Just wanted to say how inspired I am by practically everything you've drawn on this channel. Thank you, and welcome to the stream, Infinity. Um, did you get a new mic or something? Your voice sounds less angelic than usual. Well, thank you, but no, it is the same mic, just worse settings. I'm in a new location, so everything's like very haphazardly set up, which means the mic is not good, not well set up. I'll work on it off stream to hopefully get it back to its whoops, sorry, its original niceness for the next stream. But for now, it's sadly gonna have to be like this. Sorry. But yeah, like that's better. Now let me. Where do I put the input? I need to sort of put it here so you can actually see it, which is annoying because then the balance is sort of like very heavy towards this side, but I might need to just do that because then I can just like put the wire like that and then like that. I mean, that's actually not bad because then I can make the box around the input on this side. Well, hmm, that might actually be bad. Because, okay, I sort of wanted that the information goes from left to right, obviously. So if the input is here, but there's also another paragraph here, and probably in between here it says that it's stored in the blood, that's going to be confusing. That it's like mana, input, blood, input, and then output. That's so I'm going to have to think about that a little bit. Yeah, yeah. Well, sadly, I guess the truth has been revealed, Alex. Angelic settings, yeah. And the truth is, I sound like this in real life. My voice is actually grainy and low quality. In real life, a lot of people get frightened by it when I talk to them. They're like, "Whoa, what the fuck? Why do I hear static? What?" And yeah, the mic does all the work. Insanity, thank you for the 45 Dikaka. Thank you, Jesus. You've been diligently donating throughout the whole stream. Really, thank you. So the trolls could be related to dwarves. The petrification could be bacteria living in the shell. Maybe UV light would kill and stiffen bacteria. Maybe. I was sort of thinking, I have a redesign of trolls that I did like a while ago that wasn't related to the Monster Garden. Which I'll probably reference in a video if I eventually make a redesign of the trolls. That was like an original version of how I wanted to redesign trolls. But it was before I did, I haven't dived deep into troll lore, so I don't really feel like that's as good as it can be. But I thought of them as the hardening into stone thing as just being a behavior that they do where they cover themselves in mud. So they'd be like in the mountains and hot springs and like where the hot springs like turn into like mud and sludge. And they'd cover themselves and basically sleep throughout the morning looking like a rock. And then they would wake up at night and they'd be like night creatures pretty much. So yeah, it's not that they turn into rock because of the sun. It's just that they do that in the morning to sleep. Can you show it? Yeah, sure, sure. Hold on. Let me find it. 'Cause these are some like really old drawings. They're in the archives of the server. Yeah, we have archives where it's like we saved all the old chats before the server blew up and we had to like reorganize everything. But they're still there, so I can tap into them to find the ancient knowledge. Where is that? Pulling up all the images right now, if you're wondering. Come on. It's acting goofy. God. There you go. Okay, that's pretty much all the images I have. Yeah. Okay, so bear with me as I need to explain this a little bit. Um, copy image. So this is the design that I have for trolls. Here. They're like a mix of a mammoth and an ape, with like, the giant like sort of elephant legs because they're larger and they need to support that amount of weight. So those sort of legs make sense. And they have like the tusks, but I also use those monkeys with like the big pouch under their throat because I was thinking they would store mud in their throat pouch and they'd cover themselves in mud, which is like this armored layer, right? So um they have fur, which makes it so that when they get covered in mud, it sort of mats their yeah, it mats their fur into these like plates that are hard and stuff. I really like the face though. I really like that face. Um I if I were to add things to this, like thinking about it just for fun, I definitely like give it long hair because that's like a identifying feature that I see in a lot of like old troll art is that they have like this big, like big hair, like basically a, a bowl cut where it all comes out of the head like this. And I definitely want to have that, because these look pretty bald, honestly. Yeah, and maybe more hunched over as well, like some says. But I the thing is, this drawing is quite bad, I think, to illustrate like the feel of the trolls. Or like this drawing. For some reason, when I draw like proper, like when I do sketches, they look way better than actually like try. So I did like a fun sketch of a troll smoking, like killing and smoking with some like smaller creatures. This was way back when the dwarves were still like more humanoid shaped, so these rough sketches were supposed to be dwarves, but that's not what they look like anymore. But they were, some dwarves chilling and smoking with a giant troll, and this is why I like the face structure a lot. It's just because that just looks good to me. I like that face a lot. The tusks feel off. Well, I like the tusks though. I'm not sure if I redesign the trolls again, like continue on from this design. I don't know if they're gonna stay around, but I definitely like them. You know. Yeah, that's the troll design that I had. Okay, let's continue with objection over here. Okay, so I want the input image should be tilted so we can show like all the cones, of course. Yeah, and then also the there you go. Maybe trolls can make themselves shells out of mud and stone like brooks, water beetles. That could be interesting. Uh, wouldn't the fangs get in the way of eating? I mean, the angle that I drew them at makes it look like it's very hard for them. But like if it's like a front angle like this, um, if it's a front angle like this with their face, I was thinking that the tusks would be more like this, like the same way as an elephant, pretty much. So they'd go out to the side and then stop like there. And they have hands and opposable thumbs as well, so I doubt they're not trying to mash their face into things to eat it. They could just reach their hand up and put it in their mouth. Hello, just found your channel today and was binging the content. Oh, Kathy, welcome to the stream. Uh, welcome to the Monster Garden, I guess. Glad you found the content. I hope you enjoy it. Currently we're just talking about like a troll redesign if I were to do it. I mean, I have done it, but not for the Monster Garden. But if I were to do it or continue the redesign and work it into the Monster Garden, what we would do. But that's not what the stream is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about making a page about magic. Hold on. Let me save this first so I don't accidentally lose it if something happens. Um, magic page. Casting. The tusks are the best part. Yeah, well, they are, but like, it, obviously they aren't lore accurate, right? That's like definitely an addition that I just put there for the sake of it being cool. I mean, obviously also because the legs are like inspired by mammoths and they are hairy. So I thought, oh, making tusks because that gives like, a mammothy feel to them as well. Uh, but obviously that has no basis in troll lore. Um, maybe if I look deeper into troll lore, I might be able to find something that resembles tusks enough for me to still have an excuse to keep them. Perhaps it says something like th- there's some mention of trolls having like fangs or something like that. I don't know if they have like sharp teeth. If they do and they have like fangs and such, then maybe we can keep the tusks. Okay. Give me a second, by the way. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna be right back. Um, do you need an excuse if you like the tusks? Just keep them. Well, no, I don't need an excuse, but it's always more fun, or like for me at least, it is very rewarding when you want to add something and there's actually like a niche or like a little thing that you can latch onto to actually have an excuse to add it, you know? Because obviously if I'm redesigning like an original idea, that wouldn't be the case. But because it's supposed to be a troll, right? My reinterpretation of a troll is really satisfying when you find something like, oh shit, I can actually give him tusks. Because like we could reinterpret this part of the lore, like the folklore about trolls into tusks, you know? So so yeah, it's I'd still like to find a way to keep them, but if I don't and I really want to keep them, I still would. I still would. Where did you go? None of your business. How dare you? Dare you ask me where I went? I went to piss, if you're wondering. Um, what was I gonna? I was gonna say something. Damn it, I forgot it. I completely forgot it. That's a thing. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the tusks obviously would also be a thing for like fighting over mates as well. Yeah. Um, but that wouldn't be like a lore based thing for trolls. So I mean, it would show that trolls are like maybe more combative between each other, right? Which might be interesting. But I don't know. How was the piss? Very enjoyable. Thank you for asking. How about trolls are like hairless orangutans with tusks and thick skin? I don't want them to be hairless because I was thinking they'd be like in colder regions. Well, I don't know if that's again, we should stop talking about the trolls because I haven't read about them enough to like be properly able to talk about it, right? I'd love to like actually uh really go deep into it, but this is not the stream to do that yet. Sorry to uh let me use a term that I've recently learned from the young folks in the internet. Sorry to edge all of you, and sorry, sorry that I'm edging all of you, but sadly we'll have to end the troll talk for now, right? And we will continue it in a at a later date when it's time to talk about them. Yeah. Such bad manners of me to be edging my viewers. What if they decorated their tusk with jewelry? Okay, okay. No more about trolls. My bad, mate. Didn't mean to send you the side quest. No worries, no worries. I was going to I remember what I was going to talk about. So, recently I was also thinking about yeah, sorry, we're not getting back to magic because this is actually going to be something like completely different. I was thinking about what sort of political structure Ram and Varus had, which the focus isn't on political structure, okay? It will barely be relevant in the story because the story is written from the perspective of the people in the world. And honestly, with the war going on and stuff like that, the main focus isn't on how the political structure of both countries work, really, right? Because that's not what the soldiers would worry about. The soldiers would worry about not dying today and making it to tomorrow. But just for the sake of knowing it and having it in the background, I wanted to know for myself what sort of political structures both sides would have. And I have had like a sort of idea um, for a long time what kind of structures they had, but due to my lack of knowledge with politics and how I've avoided them for pretty much my whole life, I don't know enough about that sort of stuff to be able to talk about it, you know? Government. Yeah, I don't know how that sort of stuff works. Um, so I did like a bit of research and immediately got a headache. Like, holy shit. I don't know how you people who like are into politics and stuff like that, or like political structures and shit like that do it, but like Jesus Christ, I watched one video that just talked about the types of political structures. My head exploded. Like all of them just didn't like words that didn't make sense. Like so many words I've never heard before. Like I had to stop the video like every 30 seconds to pause it and go to Google to search up the meaning of the next word he used, like democracy or fucking socialism and uh, I don't fuck corporatism or it's just a headache for me. Um, so it might be interesting, or I was thinking maybe you guys could help me clear my head and figure out what these political structures are because I don't know which ones specifically they are yet, but I do sort of know how they're supposed to work. So, okay, here's the one. Do you want to hear the one for? I'm gonna tell you about the ROM one first. You don't get to choose. So, um, oh, also, when it comes to political structures and stuff like that, I need to stop myself. I'm gonna explain it first, and then so there is the saint. The saint is the person that controls the drills, right? You know how Ram is trying to dig to the center of the earth? The saints are in the drills, digging down to the center of the earth. Then there is the readers who are the people that interpret the word of the saints. So the saints basically are like pumped full of magic and stuff like that, and are seen as like these like all seeing, well, not all seeing, but they got some shit going on, right? And they get given this book and stuff like that to write down things. And but most of the time it's complete fucking gibberish. So there have to be people that are assigned to translate the word of the saint to relay it to the people, right? So that's the reader's job. I don't know yet if the reader's job, like who gets assigned to be a reader? Is it hereditary? Is it a bloodline thing? Like this could be a case of like this being a sort of royalty or like a bloodline that gets chosen specifically for being readers, or if it's like due to capability. But then there is the speakers, which is the person who also communicates with the reader, and they both sort of choose which part of the seance to say to the people. Then there's I was thinking that there would be a king. Now here's where it gets difficult. So how am I gonna explain this? It's still a mess, so it's gonna be hard to explain. And then there's also the is aristocrats a good word to use? Hold on, let me search up the meaning of aristocrats. Um, a member of the thank you, Google. Oh, I wouldn't have known without you. Oh, how helpful. Thank you. You know what the definition of aristocrat is? A member of the aristocracy. No shit. I don't know what the that is though. What is that? Wow. Incredible. Noblemen, lords. Yeah. Let's say the court or the count. Let's say call them lords. Okay, here's the lords. So the thing is, it's not as simple as just calling it a monarchy, right? Because okay, the thing is, I hate how unsimple it is when it comes to politics because you can just say, yeah, my country is run by a king. It's a monarchy. There's a king. But it ain't that simple. Because the king isn't like he doesn't run the whole fucking thing. You know, he's not the guy who calls all the shots. Would he do that by himself? So, of course, the king has advisors, and there's a round table of advisors that all talk amongst themselves and recommend things that the king should do. And then they obviously get are working in the interest of the country and its people, but also in the interests of the people with the most fucking money, because those are the people that have the most fucking power. So they want to make those happy, which means the people with the most fucking money probably have some influence over the say of what happens to the country, because obviously we fund a lot of the shit that happens in the country. So if they're not happy, the country's fucked. So the power structure is not just, oh, whatever the king says happens, because there's a lot of different cogs and avalanche of effects that happens and what those decisions and who those decisions affect. So I can't just say it's a monarchy, right? Sounds like my country. Yeah. So the thing is, the lords would be the people that are, you know, the owners of large businesses, the lord that owns most of the grain and the farms, the lord that owns most of the factories and stuff like that. Um, they would obviously have some say in what the king chooses to do because the king wants to keep the lords happy. Um, Even though the lords are pretty much underneath the king, right? But you wouldn't want to, whatever. Hold on, how do I explain this? But okay, over all of this is, hold on, I'm gonna get my sketchbook. This is gonna take a while to explain, just because it's such a mess. Um, sketchbook. Okay. So what was it called? It was, um, it was, yes, constitutionalism. So I wanted there to be a constitution. So so yes, there's a king, but the whole country sort of falls under the idea that they're following the spirit of the country, right? So okay, there's a written spirit of the country that embodies what the ideals of the countries and what the goals of the countries are, right? And that's what the whole country tries to follow. But the Constitution is obviously told and ordered out by the king, but that means that words are subjective. So the Constitution might say one thing, but whatever king is in power at the time will obviously skew and twist the words of the Constitution to fit their current narrative, right? But the Constitution is the word of the saints. Theocracy? I don't know. Okay, how do I? So the Constitution is the word of the saints, right? Everybody, so the whole goal of the country is to pursue the goal of getting to the center of the earth, right? Which is the goal of the saints. So the Constitution is the word of the saints. The word of the saints is going through the reader, then the speaker, and then to the king. But obviously, the reader and the speaker and the king all get influenced by the lords and what they want as well. So it's not like 100% the word of the saint because that's so you're overthinking it. Yes. So the reader would get influenced by the lords as well because if they just said what the saints said, that wouldn't be good, right? So the lords sort of push it in a different direction where they're like, well, yeah, but you could say that the saint wants there to be, you know, while they're interpreting the word of the saint, it's like, oh, well, maybe what the saint is saying is we need more funding into the military, you know? Like more funding into the military. So the reader is pressured to please the lords with uh what their what the lord's needs are. Um then the speaker obviously has to speak it in front of the people. So I was thinking that the king will how do I Ah, damn it! This is so confusing. See, this is why I didn't want to get into politics because I would way overthink it every time. Every time I way overthink it. So I was thinking that it's basically like the speaker is sort of separate from the king. So the king has the final say, right? He says the yes or no. He's the yes or no guy. But the speaker suggests the things that have to happen. So and that would affect how the people perceive the king. So oh, God, how do I Okay, Saint says absolute gibberish. But here, let's run through like how this actually would work, or how I think it would work. The Saint says absolute gibberish. The reader interprets said gibberish, and the lords come in to fuck with the reader to basically persuade him into changing or doing little tweaks to the word of the saint to make it fit more into benefiting the lords and their things that they want to do, right? And then the reader, right, writes that down and writes it into the word of the saint, right? Then the word of the saint gets sent to the speaker, and in front of the country, the speaker says, right, the words of the saints, which have been influenced by the lords. And the king listens to them. And the king chooses if those things happen or not. And that means that the people would either be happy or upset, depending on if the king agrees with the saint or not. Um, and the lords could obviously use that to their advantage. If it's a king that they don't like, maybe they could intentionally make it that the word of the saint is something that the king doesn't agree with, so that he looks bad in front of the people and gets dethroned or something. Hmm. Rip my donation. Oh shit! Sorry. Hold on. Thank you for the $5. The Magna Carta, a document that limits the power of the king and gives it to the court. Oligarch may work better. Yeah, maybe that would work better. Yeah, this is just this is why I need your guys' help to like make this make sense because I don't know, it doesn't make sense yet. You know, people would either be happy or sad. Yes, careful, you're confusing yourself and me. Readers should select at an early age. What should readers should be selected at an early age for being empaths. Also, are you a saint? Because I would love to fill you with my No, we're not going back to the pickup lines, guys. No. But yeah, empaths would actually be interesting to have it be because they're empathetic. Here in the UK, our monarch is a cultural figure, but technically has the power to dissolve parliament. Huh. Like the what feudal ladder king Duke, Lord, Fort, or account, Knight, basic. Huh. YouTube won't let me write a pickup line about trolls. I I really don't want to know what that pickup line is if YouTube is preventing you from writing it, so please keep it to yourself if YouTube is even saying no to it. But yeah, thank you, Sanity, for the 17 dick. Don't overthink it. In government, more stupid things are the more real they are. In government, the more stupid things are, the more real they are. Well, yeah, yeah. I know that it has to be stupid, but I want it to be at least to the point where I can sort of explain it in simpler terms without, breaking down into saying, fuck, what am I even doing? But yeah, basically it's like a weird power balance thing. So it's like the lords influence everything, but it's still the word of the saint that uh gets to the people and the word of the king if the word of the saint gets to happen or not. But okay, here's the trick. The saints are in the drills, right? But to the people, the saints are perceived as being these benevolent creatures, right? The, like the people are like, how do the saints know what is happening above ground? The saints know how the war is going. The saints know what we should do to win the war. The saints know how we should pursue the goals of the country. They But the reader interprets the word of the saint. So it could be maybe that the lords inform the reader of what is happening, and that so the word of the saint, even if it doesn't have the context of what is going on above ground, could be or recontextualized to fit what is happening above ground to make it seem like the saint is benevolent, right? So we don't even know if the saint is actually benevolent and knows what is going on and like is all knowing and can control everything and knows what's best for the country, or if it's just that the lords are making it sound like the saint says that and make him seem benevolent and makes it so that the country is more likely to follow it because they think some weird Jesus in a drill is saying it instead of some fat people around a table. So the reader gives the word of the saint to the speaker, which then gets filtered uh, by the king and put out to the public by the speaker. Well, this is where I'm stuck here still because I don't know if it's like the word of the saint is separate from the king. Well, because the king is best interest is still to follow the constitution of the country, but I don't know if the saint's word and the king is the king's job just to follow the saint's word, or can he say no? What happens when he says no? Do people not like that? Or or like, yeah, yeah, whatever. Yeah, reader, yeah, so basically he said give me $1 million. Yeah, pretty much. Maybe we don't need to know for certain sometimes. Yeah, yeah, I know the idea of like the like it I wanted, how do I say this? Also, thank you for the $5, uh, Brendan. Drop reader, saint, interpreter, counselors, and the counselors sit on the court. Court runs like a parliament and lobbyists as well. Yeah, that might be better. Might like remove the king and stuff like that. Maybe we don't need to know for certain. Yeah, yeah. Okay, what was I gonna say? Right. I find it's I want it to be sort of like a game of telephone, you know? Because this is what the people believe they're following. So this is why the people are following the country at all. They're following the constitution or like the word of the saint. But because the word of the saint goes through so many steps before it gets to the people, you don't really know if it's been misconstrued or misunderstood, or if it is actually the word of the saint or just the facade of a saint saying this and just in the best interest of the lords. So it's just a game of telephone. which I think is fun because then it's like a gray area where it's like, well, who is pulling the strings? You know, is the reader getting bribed? Is the are the lords controlling it? Is it the word of the saint? Is it, you know, where does the idea of the king come from? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know because I wanted there to be like a people that say yes or no to the word of the saint for some reason. But maybe it should just be focused on the game of telephone and just having it be the word of the saint going through multiple steps to get to the people. So maybe we don't need a king and just have it be like you said, like a council or a round table that have a reader. Again, Ronan, you're asking the wrong questions. Are they actually holy and shit like that? That's not the point. The people don't know if they are or not. They believe that they are, yes, but it's hard to prove, right? Because there's so much shit going on. Yeah, the thing is, like, in, inside each of those categories would be their own internal politics as well. Like, it's not, again, the more you look at this, the worse it gets, simplicity wise, because, like, it's not just like, oh, yeah, the reader gets influenced, but who gets to be the reader? That's like its own little fucking pocket of politics as well. It's like, is that corrupted? Like, is it a lineage and is it a lineage of people and it's just one group of people that just benefit from being uh of pure blood and stuff like that, so they try to keep themselves pure, fucking incest or shit like that, and um they have all the power so it gets abused? Or is it like you get chosen to be a reader, which means obviously if it's like a voting system or something like that, there can be manipulation of that sort of thing. Maybe a vote, like somebody who's signing up to be a reader is bribing the lords by saying, oh, don't worry, when I become a reader, like if you make it so I become a reader, I will help benefit you, you know? And then obviously he'd be incentivized by the lords to become a reader so that he can make the lords richer, for example, right? Brendan, from magic to politics must be Thanksgiving. Oh, Brendan, thank you for the $2. This is the real world. Yeah, I mean, it's not. Yes, it is the real world. This is how it works. But no, I mean, like, I don't want to portray it as such a simple thing. You know, it is such a backwards, like confusing thing. It isn't simple. You can't just, I can't just say, oh, they all follow the word of the saint. That's the simple thing. Yeah, they follow the word of the saint. But the more you look at it, the more complicated it gets, right? You could say a kingdom is just run by a king, but there's way more that goes into it than just the king. Well, I feel like if the reader is chosen by the lords, that might be interesting as well. If the reader is chosen by the lords somehow. But then, like, how can we assure, well, how can it seem like we assure that it doesn't get skewed? I think you approach is putting it as surface level, something simplistic is i.e. a government system. But when you actually showed off the nation, yeah, 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 of course. Like the thing is, the people in the world would not know what the fuck goes on. They will take the word of the saint spoken by the speaker as gospel, right? This is what the country asks us to do. Um, Also, I was thinking that I don't know what this is, but I don't know if it's interesting or not. The No, never mind, never mind. Fuck that. House of Saint and House of Commons. Hmm. So then there would, well, there's the church, and within the church would be, or then there's the commons. But the whole country follows the word of the church, but the word of the church gets influenced by the oh boy. We haven't even gotten to the military's influence yet. Yeah. Napoleon situation. Bro stepped into politics too soon. Yeah, yeah. Maybe there's a special brand tattoo that appears on the person chosen to be a reader. No, that wouldn't make sense why there'd just be a magic tattoo somehow in the world. Fake this brand? I guess. I mean, it could be started as a rumor intentionally. Saints, do this, common folk. Why? Saints, stress me, bro. You could have the reader be a form of bloodline affiliated with the saints, which makes them vulnerable people who can be swayed by lords. Hmm. I think the lords should be the ones picking the reader without the knowledge of the people. They will think the saint picked them. Well, yeah, I feel like when it comes to Ram, it's very much out of the hands of the people. Like there's no like voting on leaders or stuff like that. It's very much under the table or like hidden. So the reader is definitely chosen by someone within this, but uh I don't know who chooses them. Is this fun? Every now and again to make sure he's not making himself sad. Is this fun? Yes, yes, it is fun. Give them some of Bible equivalent. Well, the Bible equivalent is, I was thinking, the Constitution, which is the word of the saint. Well, it's not the word of the saint. It's I was thinking it's like the ideals of the country condensed into like a giant book, pretty much like the Bible, but it's like a guide to how the country is supposed to be run, and it was probably written by like some saint long ago who was sort of working in the best interest of the country, but like the Bible, it has been reinterpreted and reimagined and like m- twisted into whatever fits the current thing best, right? So maybe it's like some rules that the country follows, um, but then obviously the people in power try to twist that to fit their narrative, being like, "Oh, this the book says this, but what I believe it says, like what it means is that you should give me $1 million." You know, the poor shall rise, it says in the book, and you know what I interpret it as? I am the poor. My name is poor. Give me money, and then he gets rich and whatever. Who made the Constitution? I don't know. I don't know who made the Constitution. I feel like it should be the saint or the Lord or something like it. I feel like it would be so long ago to the point where you don't know who made it anymore. You know? Yeah. Catholic Church energy, man. I kind of miss the simple times in this stream when we were debating about the trolls test. Rom was the name of the original saint. Ooh, maybe. Like even asking who made the Bible is a confusing ass matter. True. I guess it could be that sort of thing. It's like ancient text, you know. This has been written like so fucking long ago. Like, what are you even asking? This has always been here, you know. Is a holy text uh in the public's eye. How is the Constitution weighed against the word of a saint? Well, the thing is, I believe that so the Constitution is the holy text. The holy text is like basically an interpretation of the spirit of the country, what they believe should be pursued. Uh, and the word of the saint is in the best interest of the country. So it follows the Constitution as well, right? But uh, that gets twisted into different meanings and stuff like that for the sake of the lords. Like an official document. Well, it's sort of I was thinking of it like basically, yeah, it's like an official document and a religious text. It is rules and legislations probably mixed in with holy scripture and shit like that. I don't know. I don't know if that would be interesting. Where it's like a gray area if some of it is followed like law or if it's meant to be taken as gospel or as the truth or you know are the readers picked from just anybody? Could a lord just pick a farm? Well, that's the thing. I I don't know who the readers are yet, if they're like a bloodline thing, but they're definitely like the whoever gets picked, it's definitely influenced by the people in power. It's not like it can just be any fucking random hobo off the street that can be turned into a reader. You know, like the people in power definitely have an influence over who they get, who gets to be reader, and so they would obviously pick people that would benefit them the most. Um, if they're inside. What is the ideal version of Ram's culture amongst its society? Yeah, I guess the thing is we would have to write the ideals of the country, like what they believe. Because like clearly the main thing is um doing things so I was thinking so the main thing about the country would be that they're pretty much all working to pursue the truth, which in this case the truth is what's at the center of the earth. So like whatever happens in the country is hopefully for the sake of furthering the goal of getting to the center of the earth. Just a term for the rich. I mean, that's the thing. Like, what are the lords? Are they just people in power that have like a lot of influence? Like, they own a lot of infrastructure, pretty much. They're just rich people. How many of them are there? You know, what are each of their jobs? What do they do? Or something? I don't know. The Will of the Saint, a document that has the laws and legislations brought forth by the readers and voted on by the houses, but the speakers can veto them before the veto starts. Can veto them? What does that mean? Yeah, because there will have to be a speaker, which is the person who says it to the people, right? The mouthpiece of the government. Um, and anything that is said is true when they say it. So, like, things could happen. Heads might be able to roll if the speaker says something that was not uh planned for by the lords. They own land. Hmm. Titles would be cool. Duke, Baron. Yeah, yeah. I for now placeholder. Lords. I still don't know what they would be called, really. Somehow the top of the pillars were at the core of the planet. They'd be an awkward meeting. That would be a very awkward meeting. Veto means to reject. Yeah, I guess so. The speaker could reject the word of the lords, which obviously when it comes like okay, here's the thing. I don't know who the speaker is, but like if the speaker says something to the people, that is considered, an extension of the word of the saint. They're saying the word of the saint, which means you can't really take it back. When the people hear the word of the saint, that is what it is. So, um, the speaker could be influenced by some parties to maybe say some more things, um, without since without talking about it, or without discussing it with any of the other parties before they do so, which obviously won't be able to be taken back. The people will take it as gospel, and the lords who that does not benefit might not be that happy. It's a higher ranking lord or something. The mages are controlled by the church. I was thinking. So like the magic schools and stuff like that are controlled by the church for the sake of the pursuit of getting to the center of the earth, and also because magic is such a dangerous thing, it would be very controlled. Uh, so nobody with the wrong intentions gets their hands on that sort of power. Are these speeches often? I would think they are often. Like I'm expecting them to be like sort of once a month or maybe like a week or so thing, right? Where you get to hear the plans for the country. Like what do we need to do next? Needs to be some sort of religious figure to be acknowledged by the public. I guess having the speaker be tied to the saint somehow as well would fit, because obviously the saint and stuff like that being a religion, it would fit that a religious figure says the words of the saint, you know? So yeah, maybe the speaker is like a religious figure, which basically is the speaker's pope, pretty much, which is gonna be a whole different can of worms. Uh, Regency and nobility often usually have rights beyond just being rich and powerful. Perhaps there is some lore that makes these people special in some vague way that's hard to prove. Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it would definitely be a position that they try to cut themselves off of the rest of the people, the poor common folk. Of course, it would be like some sort of, oh, they're chosen by the saint, or something vague bullshit that they can just say that they're above the other people because this is their righteous place to be, you know? Blah, 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 whatever, that sort of thing. Interesting dynamics to this because as uh, dramatic as the cities of Ram are, in the trenches, maybe they've adopted a more uh, secular mindset. Could you explain that? I don't know what that means. Secular mindset. The speaker is just the nephew of the saint or something. The church can have various ranks, like Catholicism does IRL, and there's a group of high-ranking church officials that serve as a group of readers, uh, as the group readers are chosen from. Oh, that could be interesting. Maybe there are too many channels just having the church be in charge of the speaker and reader, i.e., one party in the house, the people in the party would allow opposition. Maybe there are too many channels? What do you mean? I feel like having like a lot of variables or lots of confusing, like who's actually in charge kind of things is what makes it interesting. If we make it too simple, then, but I probably misinterpreted what you wrote. I don't understand much. Yeah. Rally all year round the word of the saint this Sunday. 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 A good. That's me off for now. Take care. Take care, Infinity. Hopefully, you find a solution to world's most ideal political structures and strategies when I next see you. Yeah, I hope we're gonna be able to clear this up. How would the shoulders know about the world word of the saint? Huh? How would the shoulders know? Well, okay. The saints are in the drills, which means there have to be pilgrimages down to the saints' drills to get the word of the saint back up to the surface. The pilgrimages down to the saints is necessary anyway because, well, supplies. Those drills don't run on their own, so you need to actually supply those fucking things. So that's why there's pilgrimages going down there. Also, pilgrimages serve a lot of different purposes as it is also used to baptize soldiers in dirt. Um, the the closer they get to the center of the earth, the holier the dirt gets. So they use that to baptize people as well, like soldiers and stuff, before sending them into war. Um, but yeah, that's how they get the word back up. Secular means that the religion doesn't have that much impact on them. That they concern themselves more with naturalistic uh, considerations. Oh yeah, of course. Like depending on the situation, the importance of the word of the saint definitely changes. I don't think you have to. I don't think most soldiers would be like, "Oh no, we're getting shot at." But the saint said we have to rush in and blindly attack the enemy. Like fuck the saint, not now. Like I don't want to fucking. I don't want to just rush in and die. So yeah, that definitely change. The people should believe that they have the influence to better their society, but would be in vain. And those with true power in the system ignore the people's vote. Oh yeah, of course. Like I feel like be having it seem like the people are changing or making a difference is good because it makes people think like they're actually individuals and not just a cog in the machine. So something like that would definitely be good. Like votes. I mean, a good way to do that is just to have, oh yeah, the people can vote on who's the reader or like who gets to be lord or something. But obviously, the votes of the people in higher up positions, like the other lords' votes, count for way more than the people's votes. That's an easy way to do it. Just be like, oh yeah, a lord's vote counts for the votes of 1,000 men or the votes of 10,000 men or whatever, because obviously they're more important. They're as important as 1,000 men. Weren't we drawing spells or something? Yeah, sorry, I got off topic. Oh boy, and we even haven't even gotten to the politics of Varus yet. Yeah, we're definitely not going to touch on that. That's going to be for another stream. Just ROM itself is already exhausting enough, and if I introduce Varus and we start talking about that, people are going to get confused. I'm going to get confused. which one we're talking about, and it's gonna get mixed up, so rather just keep it separate for now. Talk about it on another stream. Yeah. Judges 90%, public 10%. Yeah, pretty much like that. But why vote on the leader if the leader's supposed to what is just supposed to relay information, not make decisions, or did I misunderstand the role? Well, yeah, yeah. I guess that wouldn't make sense then. If they believe that everything is the word of the saint, it wouldn't make sense to vote on lords, would it? Hmm. Because the lords don't do anything. Well, yeah, they don't do anything. What are you talking about? This is all the word of the saint. Uh, Perhaps as only dirt and stone brought up, it is first delivered to the Lord who oversees its distribution. A Lord with lots of holy land is to be a powerful person. That might be interesting. You missed my previous dono. Oh shit, sorry. And YouTube is strict. Thank you for the 17 dikaka. Hold on, let me check. Sorry if I missed anything. Reason is in these words crooked, troll, and thick. What? Wait, hold on. What? Reason in 3 words crooked, troll, and thick. Thank you for the 17 dikaka. I have no idea what that means. What do you mean? Crooked, troll, and thick. It's far back. Hold on, is there another one? YouTube won't let me write a pickup line about the trolls. Oh, I mean, I didn't miss that one, did I? I already read that one. Did I miss anything else? Huh? Doesn't seem like it. I hope that was all of them. But yeah, back to drawing magic. Let's retire the politics for now, as it's just a might need a lot more work to get that to make sense. Yeah, Dikuka is Danish kroner. He's a Dane. My God. Uh, YouTube is strict on what he can say because he wanted to write a pickup line, and apparently YouTube said nah. So I'm very concerned into what the hell that pickup line actually said if YouTube says nah. But yeah, there you go, something like that, and then we get the pattern on his body. Okay, so mana, funnel, input, kept in the blood. Oh, I'll just blood, intent, output, kindling. There you go. It's everything a healthy mage needs to grow. What time is it actually? Oh goodness. It's it's a little late. How long have I been streaming? Oh goodness. 2.5 hours. Jesus. And we've done barely anything. So this book you're making, are they the notes of the creatures on the right corner? Eh? Are they the notes of the Oh, yes, yes, they are. That is so the book is written from the perspective of him going through the world and documenting like conversations he had with people and stuff like that. So basically, it's gonna obviously be an art book, uh, but the hopefully the main thing I will try to execute as best as possible is that the lore is delivered in an interesting way, where it's not just blandly said, but it is from the perspective of the people in the world, making it subjective, right? Which makes it interesting. It's like, well, there might be more to it, but we only know as much as the people know, and you might be able to piece things together, blah blah blah, with the word of the soldiers and the word of the engineers behind the creations and the word of the rats in the trenches and stuff like that, and you might be able to piece together things, which I think if I can pull it off properly, that's going to be really interesting. So, for example, when it comes to like talking about magic and stuff like that, it's not just him telling you about magic, it is him telling you about his research of magic and books that he read on magic, which sadly there are a limited amount of because the study of magic is quite controlled by the church, so he only has a limited access to books, but then also referencing conversations he's had with mages. So yeah, I think that that makes it interesting. Also, Indigo, thank you for the $20. Appreciate it. He could put the pickup line in Discord so we can see your reaction. Also, do you chill in the Discord anymore? Oh yeah. Well, recently no, but I'm down to like chilling on the Discord more often now that I'm like able to stream as well. Um, so I'll definitely be like hanging around the Discord hopefully more often. Yeah, I normally am quite active there. It's just that, I've just recently gotten here and still getting used to everything a little bit. So, but if I get everything in check, then I'll start getting more active there again. It sounds very interesting. Thank you. Well, at the moment, it's like we're very it I don't even want to say we've started on it yet. We're like breaking down chapters and what might be in those chapters and stuff like that. Like it's very, very much in its infancy. I just wanted to announce it on the YouTube just to make people know that that is something that I really want to work on and that is something that is going to happen, but I don't know how long it's going to take. I really want it to be a labor of love and to have it be the book that I'm proud of and always wanted to make. Would the book be canon? Well, yeah, yeah. As in, if you could look inside the stranger's notebook, it would be exactly same as the finished book. Well, here's the thing. I did want it to be like that at first, but there is a few things that I might have to take liberties with for the sake of the book, right? For the sake of it being an art book. First of all, the illustrations in the book, obviously, when it comes to the stranger, he would most likely have available to him like a pen or like a quill pen or some chalk or not chalk, what the fuck? Charcoal, you know? Which means the actual sketches in the book would be quite rudimentary, like pretty much like what I'm drawing here. Like if the guy shooting the spell, like that's probably the quality of most sketches realistically in his book if you were to look at it. But obviously that would not be that good of an art book if the only thing I'm allowed to draw is realistically what the stranger could draw with the equipment that he has available. Um, so I'm gonna take some liberties and obviously use digital art and make it like properly rendered and illustrated, which isn't what it would actually look like, right? But obviously it would make for a better art book because actually rendered art is in the book. Um, but you could put in writing. What? Starting the computer and going to Discord. Oh god. But yeah, and also another thing is, when it comes to the notes that the stranger takes, they would obviously be in chronological order, right? The the stranger's notes would be throughout his travels, so he would travel from one place to another, and the notes would follow the line that he travels, which means for long stretches of his travel, there might not be interesting things that happen. And so if I were to do it perfectly like the book is, it might not be as interesting as it can be. So sadly, I also am willing to like sacrifice the cohesiveness of the order in which things happen and instead make it chapters so that the book is, yeah, so not like a diary, not like a diary. So we sacrifice the diary bit where it's like following from step one to the final step from start to finish line, and instead making it chapters, like a chapter on magic, a chapter on the war, a chapter on Manticore and stuff like that. So a lot of so information that's about one topic is kept in or is all in one place, right? Which, like for example, the information that he has in the chapter about magic, if I were to put it in the book, the information about magic that the stranger has would have been spread out amongst many of his notes, right? They wouldn't all be in one place because he wouldn't just get all his knowledge of magic all at once and write it in one perfect chapter. But for the sake of the book, it'd be better just to put it into one place, right? Because that just make it more cohesive. Same with the war, same with everything else. So yeah, there's some things that will be sacrificed, but I think the spirit of the book being like the lore being written in the form of notes and counts from people would still work. Please make a gunslinger. No, I mean I don't have a reason to make a gunslinger and publish it themselves with the publisher as the editor. That seems not nice. You found the stranger's journal and then published it yourself. That's rude. Um, Good to see you back. How it's going? Holy shit, the ultimate Kiwi. Hello, hello. Jesus Christ, coming in with 50 pounds. Welcome, welcome. Goodness. 50 pounds like it's nothing, yeah. I mean, no, it is not nothing. That is a lot of burgers. That is a lot of burgers. But how's it going, Ultimate Kiwi? Long time no see. I'm back to streaming again. I feel like maybe notes and entries would be embedded on the side alongside sketches. There's this artist on YouTube, Dead Sound, who uses a sort of organized scrapbook method to explain his process. Well, yeah, it's gonna be like each of the pages will be drawings and notes and stuff like that, entries and like different bits of paper like stuck together. I think that would be like interesting. So it's not just gonna be like clean illustrations. I do still want there to be like sketches and stuff like that. Um, which it is very hard to put a sketch in a book, by the way, because obviously you know it's rough. And I'm very reluctant to put something rough in the book. But that, that's the spirit of the book. There should be sketches in there, but it just feels so wrong. It's not a finished drawing. It looks not perfect. But I'll have to get out of that mindset because um there was I went to a bookstore and there was a book about birds and all of the illustrations in the book about birds were really rough. Like the sketches weren't like perfectly cleaned up like realistic rendering or whatever. No, it was like rough sketches of birds with like frantic coloring and stuff like that, but it had a charm to it, you know? There was a sort of charm to it. I would have a heart attack if I wanted to like put a sketch like that into a book just because it feels so wrong. It feels so wrong. But uh but it really works in that book. So I feel like yeah, like having sketches can work definitely. Like one of the lore accurate what like one that's lore accurate to the stranger's drawings and one that is literally accurate. Well, I it's not I don't want to like have two copies of the same drawing, one being a sketch and one being a finished drawing. I just mean that there's if a page is like there's a main illustration, so this is a page, right? So there's like a main illustration here talking about the trenches, and it's like an image illustrating a trench with like soldiers sitting around in it and stuff like that. This main image will be illustrated like properly rendered and nice to make it look like the actual location how it is. And then there would be notes and uh, talking points or interviews that he's had with the soldiers that he might be drawing here, like he asked them to pose for the drawing. Then there'd also be like smaller sketches of like breakdowns of their uniform, maybe like this, which aren't rendered like that, but just like, oh, maybe some sketches of their helmets or like their faces or maybe their bags, and talking about little bits and pieces, maybe like, oh, it was interesting that I saw many soldiers that had the same trinket on their bag, and what that trinket means, or if it has some sort of significant meaning in their religion or something like that. Wharf Jello. What? The candle not being lit? No, no. I have an animation of the candle flickering and it being lit. Uh, but I yeah, I can't fit it onto the. I haven't bothered to put it there yet. I have one though. I do have. Trust me, the candle's lit. Okay, it's lit. Yeah, pasted into the notebook. One thing that I definitely like 100% want to have in the book, and hopefully will be able to put in the book, is the- you know how you you can do that thing where if you pick some flowers and you put it between some pages in a book and press it flat and leave it like that to like make the flowers go flat, so you can keep them like that. I want to have that in the book, but obviously I can't press a non-existent fantasy flower into a book and give it to you physically. But I wanted to like try and illustrate it realistically. So basically have a page of the book like this and illustrate a flower to make it look like it was pressed into the page of the book. So maybe like some stains on the paper, and the flower all flat and stuff like that, and then notes next to it. So it would contrast the illustrations like this, which look or maybe look different. So with this, I'll try to like genuinely make it look realistic, um, and make it look like it was like the stranger pressing a flower into the book to keep note of it. Great idea. Yeah, yeah. I think that's a great idea. There's some I don't know, I don't think I came up with this one, because it was an idea suggested when we were brainstorming the book and how or what we would want in the book in like a way previous stream. But yeah, that would be really fun to have that. Yeah. And then on the other like on the other side of the page we can have like some stains. Like if the flower's purple, some purple stains overlapping the notes on the other side. Just very haphazardly. Maybe he's like, really want to keep this flower. I don't have any empty pages. Fuck it. I'll just, just yeah, whatever. And it just accidentally stains some other page that he didn't intend to. Yeah. Do you think the stranger gave his notes books to a professional bookmaker to organize into chapters and illustrate better? Well, I feel like there's gonna have to be some suspension of disbelief. I mean, obviously, I don't think the stranger would literally publish his book and fucking distribute it amongst the people and stuff like that. So I don't know if he gave it to like a person who made it into an official book and properly like illustrating it and stuff like that. I feel like having it left as notes like that makes, well, I don't know. I don't know. I there is some, I can't say that. Yes, cool. Yes, exactly. Maybe the people vote for the reader and or speaker to give the illusion that the people have an impact, even though the most powerful lords choose the lineup of people that they can vote for. Maybe, maybe, yeah. But I mean, it would still like, because the reader is like the best person that could understand. So like we wrote like empathetic, for example. Like they're the most empathetic person towards the saint to be able to understand their writing and stuff like that. So it'd be weird that they'd have a lineup, and what says that the people are the most qualified to choose who's a reader, you know? Like I feel like the saints or the lords would somehow say it that um obviously the people would not be able to tell who would be the best reader and the best for that job, so like voting wouldn't make sense. Like if there's three candidates, are you saying that all three of them are at equally good at reading, or how do they convince the public who is better at reading? Maybe give them a test read? Like, okay, here's a passage from the saint that's currently drilling. All three readers translate it and tell it to the people, and then the people um say which one they like most, and then that person gets to be the reader or something. That, you know, the viewers being integrated into the creative process makes these streams very engaging, by the way. Oh, thank you, thank you. I I'm glad you say that, because that's like the part that I enjoy the most is pretty much like getting to brainstorm and think about stuff with you guys. There's gonna be a lot more of that when it comes to like actually designing something in a stream. Like this obviously is me like um laying out a page and stuff like that, but that doesn't really involve much back and forth between you guys and me. But when it comes to like the creature streams, like designing creatures or monsters and stuff like that, that's when it gets really fun. Because the brainstorming happens back and forth. Oh, what about this? What about that? How do you feel about this? Oh, what if we add this? What if we add that? And that's like my favorite. That's my favorite type of stream. And we already had one, which, well, we've not like the most crazy creature design, but it's still a creature that I really like the outcome of. The Cabrax. The Cabrax I did on stream, and that stream was really fun for me. So eventually, when we like get into more monster designs, that's going to be a lot of fun to like brainstorm with people. I'm excited for that because at the moment we're sort of just covering things that I already know what they look like the the mages and stuff like that. We're just focusing on page layouts, but um, when we get to creatures, hopefully soon, um, it'll be fun. StarSap, there's a Discord server. Oh yeah, yeah, there's a Discord server. It's in the About section on YouTube. Um, so just get to the About section on YouTube, and the link's there. You can hop in. If it doesn't work, do tell me. I hope it works. I mean, it works for most people. Some people say it doesn't work, and it's confusing why it doesn't work for some and works for others, but hopefully it works. Um, all very reminiscent of the medieval church. Will you redesign another classic fantasy creature soon? Well, we just talked about trolls earlier this stream. I'm very interested in trying to get trolls into the world because I like trolls. So that might be the next one to do. Trolls, where we ate a dwarf. Oh God. Maybe the people vote for the readers and or speakers to give the illusion that the people. Wait, I already read that. Why are you sending that again? I already responded to that. What? It gives the church keeping the Bible in Latin so poor people can't understand. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the a game of telephone. The word of the saint goes through so many people to the point where, I mean, honestly, is it even the word of the saint anymore? And I mean, the people don't know any better, you know? And if they like, how dare you, if you're a peasant of Rom, a working class uh person of Rom, how dare you consider or even assume or suggest that the word of the saint is not actually the word of the saint? You know? Like, are you saying this is not the truth? You know, like you can't even say that it isn't, like, or that you think it's bullshit. Like, how are people gonna perceive you if you say the word of the saint? It's like, "No, I actually don't agree with that, you know? Like, okay, what? Maybe it isn't the word of the saint. Like, or is this actually his word? You're not qualified to know that. How would you know? What did they do to you? I know, Nimi. That is something I ask myself every time they ask to eat dwarves. What did they do to you? These people are obsessed with eating dwarves for some reason. They really want to eat dwarves, like every opportunity they get. I mean, well, people already donated. Look at Timmy over here. Timmy in the corner. He's got it rough. Lost an arm, lost his nose, one of his legs. Deep fried, cut into slices with some sauce and turned into a drumstick. My idea of readers summarized. Their ranks within the church and oldest, wisest church officials, which are the highest ranked, are the group that lords choose from for who will be a reader. Ah, I see. Yeah, yeah, that could work. They look delicious. Not to me. I'm scared of your viewers now. You should be. I'm scared of them. Um, but there's still room for dwarf eye tortillas. My God, I'm sorry. Is that tortillas? Is that how you spell tortillas? I've never seen the word tortilla spelled. Does the saint have actual vision, or is this a oracle of Delphi situation where the saint is basically high all the time and is just spouting bullshit? It's definitely more of that sort of direction where it's they're down in the drills and stuff like that. But who knows? Maybe they do actually know what they're talking about, and it's just beyond our understanding. Are you suggesting that you know more than a saint? How about you shut your blasphemous mouth and listen with your ears and not your rear end? Yes, perfect, perfect. That is definitely something they'd say. How dare you assume that the word of the saint is not in the best interest or is not for the best interest of the people and the country? The letter L twice in Spanish is pronounced Y. Oh, okay, yeah, tortilla. Hmm. Pretty much how organized religions cults seem to work. I'm so excited for Rus politics now, wondering if they're be super different. Um, I mean, I don't expect them to be super. I don't want to get into it. I have an idea as well of like how the political structure in Bruce works, but definitely not today, not the stream to get into it now. We'll cover it in another stream eventually. But yeah, you know what? I think this is gonna be enough for today's stream. I really enjoyed it, but my God, it's been 3 hours and the drawings has stagnated, so it's better for me to get off the stream, clear my mind a little bit, and then keep working on this off stream. So yeah. Also, do you by any chance know how large you want Ram and Varus are going to be on a map, like the size of the nation? That is a really good question. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys a little more, and then I'll end the stream. But yeah, yo, I just came back from the bathroom. Who's this Timmy? Like, can I eat him? Oh, God damn it. No, no, you cannot eat him. How dare you? He's already struggled enough. But yeah, do you by any chance know how large the countries are? So I do want them to be like very big, like fantasy big, you know? Because like there are some things that are very exaggerated in the world, even though it might seem like it's very grounded and stuff. I love more like pushing fantasy worlds into like crazy territories. Uh, like there's giant drills digging down to the center of the earth. There's giant pillars that are rumored to hold up the sky. There's giant machines that climb those pillars as well, that are like uh, things that are too big to make sense for that time. Which I also want to do for like the size of the country as well, or like the size of Rom and its population as well. So like I do think that the cities surrounding the pillars and stuff like that are definitely like way over exaggerated in scale. Like they're way too big, you know? Giant capitals of buildings and stuff like that just piled on top of the towers. Because like the war needs to be fueled, right? And the war is like this giant maze like trenches, battlefield, whatever. So like there has to be a giant population behind um the war to like fuel that amount of fighting. Indigo, thank you for the $10. Discord question mark? Yeah, we have a Discord. It's in the about section on YouTube. You ever think of day-to-day life of average people in your world, what they do for fun, work? Well, yeah. I mean, I mostly think of that. When it comes to like the things like politics and stuff like that, that is like way in the background. Like for the book and like for entries and stuff like that, that's mostly not going to be covered at all. I love to focus on like the happenings of the common folk, or putting yourself in the shoes of a soldier and what goes on with them, um, or like a worker in one of the bunker cities, what they do, how they live. Like that's the sort of stuff I find interesting. But obviously, there's a lot of groundwork that needs to be done before I can get into the nitty gritty like that. So sadly, I do have to focus on like the larger scope things, like what the world um has, how magic works and stuff like that before I can get into like um the people. I gotta go. Have a nice day, afternoon, night. Take care, yeah. Also, late Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, Darth Mulligan. Mal Mulligan? What the fuck? I saw an M at the start of your second the second part of your name, and I just went with it. I didn't even look at any of the other letters. I saw an M, a G, and I was like, oh yeah, that's Mulligan. No, Malgus. Malgus. Thank you. Goodness. Discord chat after stream. Uh oh, that's what you were asking. Sorry. Well, thank you for the additional $2 to clarify your question. Thank you. Um uh, maybe. I'd want to like rest and chill a little bit first. Rest uh my chords. And then after that I might go into Discord. No promises though. I might be in there. But I'm definitely gonna read like the stuff that the people sent and like the the chats and respond to that though. But yeah. just in case you still need reference for guns and weapons, you could look at needle guns like the Aries or the Martini Henry. I use them in my world and they're pretty neat. Yeah. I'll look into those actually. Hold on. Ooh, those are neat. Hmm, they are neat. I'll consider. Suggestion, Monster Garden. The pickup line is now posted and written on your Discord server. I hope that you will find it amusing and you'll okay. Okay. That's the last thing I'm gonna do, okay? I'm gonna look at your pickup line, and that'll be the end of the stream. Let me see. Okay. Here it is, everybody. Get ready for the pickup line that's gonna blow your socks off. This is gonna woo everybody who hears it. Hey girl, are you a troll? Because your teeth are extremely crooked and your hips are wider than a small car. Thank you, Insanity. That's what you. This is nothing special. YouTubers' donation system is extremely strict, and the autocorrect system is very intrusive and annoying. I hope that you see this and shake your head. I definitely did. I will now continue watching the stream. Oh, goodness. Beautiful. Yeah. I bet any troll who hears that would be swooning. They would be swooning. They're the it'll shake the clay off their hair. Because the concept I had was like clay armor on. Never mind. Um, but yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed that stream. I certainly did. It's good to get back into it, and yeah, I'm waiting the whole stream for that moment. Yeah, Jesus. Okay. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that stream. Take care, everybody.